Welcome back, space enthusiasts. If you're a fan of science fiction, you have probably seen spaceships darting between stars, glowing with an eerie, cool blue light from their engines. You've seen the TIE fighters in Star Wars, by the way. TIE literally stands for Twin Ion Engine. You've seen the shimmering drives of the Starship Enterprise. For decades, we've watched these glowing blue engines on screen and thought, wow, that is some cool movie magic. But what if I told you that this isn't just movie magic? What if I told you that the glowing blue engine is real? It is called an ion thruster, and it is not just a concept sitting on a drawing board. It is actively flying in space right now. And more importantly, it is the absolute key, the ultimate power choice for the future of human interstellar travel. Today, we are going to dive deep into what an ion thruster actually is. Before we can understand why the ion thruster is so revolutionary, we first have to understand the problem it is trying to solve. Imagine you're watching a rocket launch. Think of the mighty Saturn V that took humans to the moon, or the modern SpaceX Starship. What do you see? You see fire. You see massive clouds of smoke, earth-shattering noise, and raw, explosive power. These are chemical rockets. They work by mixing a fuel and an oxidizer together, lighting them on fire, and letting the massive explosion blast out of the bottom of the rocket. Because the explosion shoots downward, the rocket is pushed upward. This is basic physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Think of it like standing on a skateboard and throwing a really heavy bowling ball as hard as you can away from you. The force of you throwing the heavy ball forward pushes your skateboard backward. A chemical rocket is just a giant machine throwing hot, heavy gas out of its tailpipe. But here is the massive, heartbreaking problem with chemical rockets. They're fuel hogs. Chemical rockets are like a drag racing car. They burn a massive amount of fuel in just a few minutes to get off the ground. In fact, most of a rocket's weight is just the fuel it needs to carry. And here is the paradox. To carry heavier cargo into space, you need more fuel. But fuel is heavy. So, to carry that extra fuel, you need even more fuel to lift the fuel you just added. It is a vicious, frustrating cycle. If we want to go beyond Mars, if we want to go to Jupiter, Saturn, or even to another star system, a chemical rocket simply cannot carry enough fuel. It would run out of gas long before it ever reached the deep ocean of space. We don't need a drag racing car that burns out in 5 minutes. For deep space, we need a marathon runner. We need an engine that can run continuously for days, months, or even years without running out of gas. Enter the ion thruster. To understand the ion thruster, we first need to understand its fuel. What is an ion? Let's zoom way down to the microscopic level. Picture a normal atom. Let's imagine it as a tiny solar system. In the center, you have a heavy nucleus. That's the sun. Orbiting around this nucleus are tiny, lightweight particles called electrons. These are the planets. Normally, an atom is perfectly balanced. It is neutral. It has no overall electrical charge. But what if we mess with it? What if we shoot some energy at this tiny solar system and knock one of those orbiting electrons completely out of the atom? Suddenly, the atom is missing a piece. It is no longer balanced. Because it lost a negatively charged electron, the whole atom becomes positively charged. Congratulations! You have just created an ion. An ion is simply an atom that has an electrical charge because it has lost or gained an electron. Why does this matter? Because of one magical rule of the universe. Magnets and electrical charges love to push and pull each other. Positive charges repel other positive charges, just like when you try to push the two north poles of magnets together and they slide apart. If we have a neutral gas, we can't control it with magnets. But if we turn that gas into a bunch of positively charged ions, suddenly we have a superpower. We can use electric fields to grab those invisible particles, control them, and shoot them exactly where we want them to go. Now, let's build our ion thruster. We start with our fuel. The most common fuel used is a gas called xenon. We use xenon because it is very heavy for a gas, and it is completely safe and inert. Inside the engine chamber, we inject a little bit of this xenon gas. But remember, we can't just burn it. We have to change it. Step 1, the zap. We shoot a beam of high-energy electrons right into the xenon gas. It's like firing a machine gun into a room full of balloons. These invisible bullets hit the xenon atoms, knocking their electrons away. In an instant, our normal gas becomes a glowing, positively charged cloud of xenon ions. This glowing cloud is called a plasma. And yes, this is exactly where that beautiful, eerie, blue sci-fi glow comes from. Step 2. The slingshot. At the back of the engine, we place two highly charged metal grids. Think of them like two electric nets. The first net is positively charged, and the second net is heavily negatively charged. Remember our rule? Opposites attract. The positively charged xenon ions are violently pulled towards that negative net at the back of the engine. They get dragged through the space between the grids, accelerating faster and faster and faster. Step 3. The exit. By the time the ions pass through the grid, they are moving at absolutely mind-blowing speeds, up to 90,000 miles per hour. They shoot out of the back of the engine into the vacuum of space. Going back to our skateboard analogy, we are no longer throwing heavy bowling balls slowly. Instead, we are using a high-powered electric pitching machine to fire millions of tiny, invisible baseballs at 90,000 miles per hour. But wait, there's one final, crucial step, the neutralizer. If our spaceship just keeps spitting out positively charged ions, the spaceship itself will become super negatively charged. Eventually, the spaceship will act like a giant vacuum cleaner and just pull the ions right back to the engine, stopping our movement. To fix this, we have a little device on the outside of the engine that sprays normal electrons into the exhaust beam as it leaves. This balances the exhaust, turning the ions back into normal, happy atoms as they drift away into space forever. Now, you might be thinking, shooting millions of particles at 90,000 miles per hour sounds incredibly violent. This engine must be insanely powerful. Well, prepare to be surprised. If you were to hold your hand out behind an ion thruster in space, the physical push you would feel is incredibly weak. In fact, the amount of thrust produced by a typical ion engine is roughly equivalent to the weight of a single piece of printer paper resting on the palm of your hand. Yes, you heard that right. A piece of paper. If you strapped an ion thruster to a car on Earth, it wouldn't even be able to overcome the friction of the tires. The car wouldn't budge an inch. So why are we talking about this as the ultimate engine for space travel? Because space has no friction. There is no air resistance. In space, once you start moving, nothing stops you. This brings us to the ultimate race between the tortoise and the hare. The chemical rocket is the hare. It blasts off, shaking the Earth, pushing you into your seat, and reaching thousands of miles per hour in minutes. But then, it runs out of fuel. It is coasting. It cannot go any faster. The ion thruster is the tortoise. It starts incredibly slow. For the first day, it's pushing with the force of a piece of paper. Your spaceship's speed barely changes. But the ion thruster doesn't stop. Because it uses its fuel so efficiently, an ion engine can run constantly for weeks, months, or even years. Every single second, it pushes a tiny bit more. After a week, you're moving pretty fast. After a month, you're flying. After a year of constant pushing, your spaceship is traveling at speeds that a chemical rocket could only dream of. The tortoise eventually zooms past the hare, achieving record-breaking top speeds, and it still has fuel left over. This isn't a theory. We have already done it. Back in 1998, NASA launched a probe called Deep Space One. It was heavily powered by an ion thruster. It ran its engine for over 16,000 hours, proving that this sci-fi technology worked beautifully in the harsh environment of space. Then came the Dawn spacecraft. Launched in 2007, Dawn used ion thrusters to travel deep into the asteroid belt. Because of the incredible efficiency of its ion engines, Dawn did something a chemical rocket simply could never do. It flew to a giant asteroid named Vesta, stopped, went into orbit around it, stayed there for a year, and then restarted its engines to break out of orbit and fly to an entirely different dwarf planet called Ceres, where it went into orbit again. That kind of maneuvering requires a fuel efficiency that only ions can provide. And you don't even have to look deep into space to see them working. Look up at the night sky. Right now, thousands of Starlink satellites are orbiting the Earth, beaming the internet down to us. Every single one of those satellites is equipped with a miniaturized version of an ion thruster. They use them to gently adjust their orbits and avoid crashing into space debris. Ion engines are part of our everyday lives. So, what does this mean for our future? What about human beings traveling to other stars? Right now, our ion engines are powered by solar panels. They use electricity from the sun to power the magnetic grids. But as you travel further away from the sun, out past Jupiter and Pluto, the sunlight gets too weak. The next great leap is combining ion thrusters with nuclear power. Imagine a spaceship equipped with a small, safe nuclear reactor. This reactor provides an enormous, steady amount of electricity. That electricity is pumped into an array of giant, scaled-up ion thrusters. With nuclear electric propulsion, we could cut the travel time to Mars from 9 months down to just a few weeks. We could send heavy cargo ships to build colonies on the moons of Saturn. And if humanity ever decides to send a probe to another star system, like Alpha Centauri, we won't be using explosions and fire. We will be using massive, glowing blue ion engines, silently pushing us through the dark, accumulating unimaginable speeds over decades, riding a beam of light to our new home. The ion thruster represents a shift in how we think about power. It teaches us that true power isn't always loud, violent, and explosive. Sometimes, the most profound power comes from a gentle, relentless, continuous push. The push of a feather, sustained over time, can conquer the universe. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If you enjoyed learning about the real-world science behind our sci-fi dreams, make sure to hit subscribe, share this video with a fellow space nerd, and drop a comment below letting me know. If you could take an ion-powered ship anywhere in the galaxy, where would you go? Keep looking up, and I'll see you in the next one.